Hey. Okay, we're recording.
All right.
Hi, everybody. So here we are at class number 4 for American Sign Language, and I'm pretty excited. I feel like we're getting to the good stuff. Before we go any further, remember, please mute yourselves unless you have a question. And then I am recording. I'll send this to you tomorrow, and I don't think I have any other announcements. So I hand it over to you, Gillian.
All righty. First up, I'm so sorry, you guys, for not being there last week. I just bought a house and I kept waiting and kept asking. I was like, when are we going to have the closing? When are we going to be doing this? Because I was trying to get it with the work. And they finally were like, we're doing it Tuesday at 4:30. And I was like, wait. I have something going on. They're like, it's either Tuesday or nothing, basically. It's like, okay. But yes. So what I kind of figured what we could do is I'm going to give you guys maybe a lot of signs tonight to help kind of, make up for last week. And what I'm even thinking I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try. Now that I've got the house, I'm still trying to move out and so there's a lot going on. So I'm going to try my best. But I'm going to try to video myself signing the words again, just myself, and send that to you guys again so you can look at it without having to go finding. And I might at the end of it have like a few like practice runs where you can just kind of look and I'm not saying the words and you just have to see it yourself and kind of practice. Kind of to help you guys, since I am probably going to be giving you a lot of signs tonight. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to give you guys some, because I know you guys really wanted to have some communication signs, like learning how to actually communicate. And one of the things I felt was that biggest kind of easiest thing to do is questions. And that is just going to be going through the WH question words and how. Of course, how's included. I include it as a WH, even if it's not WH. So the first one I have is what. And that's where you have your hands just kind of open palm and you just shake them like what. And one thing you want to make sure is your eyebrows are down, almost like you're mad, but like this, like what? And it's because when they're down, that tells a deaf person that you are asking a question. Because if you just do what, they're gonna be like, I don't know what you're trying to say. That might be a sign for something else. But if you have it like what, they're gonna go, oh, you're asking me something. So like, for example, like if you're saying, like, I'm trying to think of a word now, I keep going wrong signs. For homework, we have what, so what? It's just open palms, just kind of relax and what. And you can do kind of, if you have something in your hand, one hand is fine too. Some people think that you have to have it with both hands. And that's something where you can just do one or two, but mostly two. Sorry. Okay. Then the next W is where. And where's kind of a slight bend. It's not full on X, but it's like a slight one. And you just shake it back and forth. Where. And again, the same with the eyebrows down. Where. So you just kind of like in like bathroom. Where. Alrighty. And then who. So who is an interesting one. I don't know. I like this one. So you're going to have your thumb on your chin and you're going to bend your pointer finger. Who. It's kind of strange. It's here. I'll put it from the side. So you're just going to have your pointer finger bending to like that X, but with your thumb touching your chin. Who. And a lot of times people will make the mouth motion of like the ooh at the end. Who. All right. Sorry, I thought I froze for a minute. I want to make sure. So who. And then I have to go through them all. What, where, who, what, when. Sorry, when. I haven't started in a process and I did not start it that way. So my brain's like, you're not saying them right. When is you're going to have your two fingers touching and you'll have one go around it. So like make a circle. When. Mm-hmm. And make sure to keep the eyebrows down. And the reason is because if you do just kind of like this is also the sign for like about, or what is it? Most people use it for about, it's about 20 feet. So if you have the eyebrows down, they'll know you're asking when. when. And then why. So why, there's two different ways you can do it. Why is where you have your palm and you have it to the side of your face, and then you end it with your two, this or this. So you have it into like a Y. Pull Y. So I'm gonna put it to the side, so it's still from your forehead. Y. 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 So Y. 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 Now some will do just that middle finger, Y. Y. It's the same thing. Some will do one, some will do two. Most of the time when you put your hand here and then you go down to that similar position, they know you mean Y. So Y. And then how. So how is like you have two thumbs up. You're going to put them like they're like this, and you'll shake one of them. You just kind of go how. It can be like how. So how. Okay. So let's review, and then we'll move on to some other words. And if I know it's going to be a lot, and I'm telling you, I'm so sorry if it is. I just want to give you guys as much signs as possible, and I will very much try to have a video of myself later so you can see that as well. So please bear with me. All right. So who. So again, that thumb sticking out, touching your chin, and your pointer finger bending down like this. Like you're almost like you're doing like that, but with your thumb. Who. What? I feel like I'm angrily glaring at y'all just because of how I'm like doing the what. Where? The hook, slight hook. Where? Then when. Then why.
Could I ask that Anna mute herself, because I keep seeing her instead of you?
Oh, okay. I think Miss Anna muted herself. I see the red mute now, so I think we're good. But yes. And then how. Okay. So how are we feeling on those? I know I went through them kind of fast, but again, you have the week to practice. You have these videos to save, so you can practice them however long you want. All right. Now I'm moving on. Yes.
I just want to say one thing. I will go back tomorrow, practice this, and put in the timestamps. So you'll have something that says who, what, where, when, why, how, and then whatever we do next, so you can jump to
that's good. That'll be good. Perfect. Thank you, Miss Katie. Okay. So now we have all of those questions that require an answer. So for questions like yes or no questions, it's kind of interesting. So what you do instead, if you're asking a question like, do you have a pen? Your eyebrows, instead of going down, they'll go up. It's almost like you're making a surprise. So like, you have a pen? And a lot of people, I personally like to do this, which is the sign for question, like question. So question, just to help with my kids specifically, letting them know I am asking a question, because with the masks, it's very hard to sometimes see how everything is. So I always end with a question. So for example, like, do you have a pen? So eyebrows up. And I'll add those signs later. I just thought I'd let you know that's what yes or no's questions are. And then the sign for yes is you're going to have kind of your fist like this, and you're just, looks like you're knocking on a door. It's your S, knocking on a door. Yes. And then no is your two, excuse me, I have the hiccups, and you'll put them to your thumb. No. Those are some of my favorite ones because they're so easy and you can answer so many questions with that. So that's just me though. All right, so let's review those two again. So yes, the thumb over your fingers like yes, the S, yes. And then no. Mm-hmm. Okay. So on those two, are we good? Feeling good? Okay. Now, oh, I saw that, Miss Winnie. That made me laugh. All right, perfect. Okay, so now I thought you guys might enjoy for me to give you guys some signs for places like school, church, home, work, those kind of locations. So if you're having to ask where something is, you at least know those signs. So first one I said, because I am a teacher, is school. And school is it's almost like you're clapping weird. School. Okay, perfect. Yeah, school. And then I have church. And so church, you're going to make that C. You're going to have your non-dominant hand of fist, and you're going to tap your C on your non-dominant. So you see that? There we go. It's a wonky movement because you kind of refer to the side, but you can't see it as good. So church. And be careful, because if you do this, you're saying chocolate. Which I personally don't think is a bad mistake. Is saying where's the chocolate? Like, so.
Gillian, I have a question.
Yes.
When you're signing to someone, are you signing up high or like more in front of your chest?
It depends on the sign and its location. Most of the time it's more that relaxed. You're not having to shoot it up here and sign up here. It's more just like normal, kind of like chest level signing. Like what I remember my teacher was saying, your square like of signing is like from the top of your head down to like right before your actual belly button. You don't go much lower unless you're describing like a body part, like your leg, because then you might actually have to go down lower. But most of it is just kind of in that more comfortable down position. But since we're in Zoom and I can't really fit my head and my stomach in the screen, I think y'all prefer to see my face at least before you saw just only a stomach signing. So, but yes, most of the time it is just kind of that natural. So if it does feel weird doing it up, you definitely can lower it. It's whatever's like the height that's comfortable for you. So, all righty. Good question, Miss Katie. All right, let's see. Okay, so home. Home is, you're going to make almost like you're making the little, cheep, cheep, cheep sound look, but you're going to do it from your chin back to your ear. So home. Mm-hmm. Good. And then the next one I have is store. So I'm going to add another one here that's not a place, but it's because I feel this is important to really show the difference. So store is, again, that kind of thing, but you're going to have them down, almost like you're bending them like this, and you'll shake them. Store. Mm-hmm. And sorry, that was my dog. That big black lab has a very loud bark that goes through everywhere. So store. And then the other sign I'm going to show you is the word for teach. And it's because teach is also very similar. So teach is the same position, but instead of bent down, you're to the side. Teach. Yes. Good, Ms. Beth. Teacher. Good. So teach. So I just want to make sure you guys notice the difference of store, teach. Store, and then teach. I messed that up a couple of times myself. So that's why I'm very much trying to remember that I'm not telling my students that I'm a storer, that no, I'm a teacher. So the next one I have is place, just the sign for place. And places, you make that, the K's that end up being P's. And this one I have to move myself. I apologize, but you put your hands, your K's, sideways, and you're going to make a square. So do you see how it's like this, like mine sideways? And you're going to make a square. So, okay. I have my middle fingers that are bent forward, kind of touch each other. Place. And again, this would be, you can have it lower. I'm just doing this higher so you can try to see. So place. Does that make sense? Place. Oh, I froze.
I was going to say, okay. This
Are
happens
we
all the
good?
time. Exercise class. There we go.
I sometimes I just got my work computer back, and that's where I'm using now. And so I forgot that sometimes the internet will just kind of freak with it and it will just freeze on my Zooms. So I was like, oh no, I hope I don't disconnect, but thankfully I didn't. So places, again, it's kind of weird. I don't use place much. I usually try to be more specific on what I'm asking. So the next word is freezing. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I can see when I'm freezing because then you guys stop moving. And if all of you have stopped moving, that means I've stopped. Okay. So can y'all still hear me good? Are we good? Okay. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. 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 Okay. So the next one is office. So office is you'll have the O's and you're going to make another square. So I usually start like office, office. So it's the O's. You'll start kind of like sideways and then end. Office, office, office. And some people will say, now, okay, this is something I do want to add that is kind of important for this, is in ASL, you don't always have to be specific with the letters for the hand shapes. They will just kind of say like room, because this is the sign for like room, any basic room. It doesn't have to be any specific one, but just room is room. It's like you're making a square room. And some people will use that for office, for classroom, but there are also more English signs, which are like the office. And I honestly like those a little bit better. And the reason is it just makes it clear what you're saying. Because if you're talking about an office space and then a classroom, they're very different, and they're not, it can get confusing. Because I mean, I don't want to be thinking I'm talking about the classroom needing to be fixed when it's the office. So yes.
I need you to go back over, because when you froze, I got distracted and I'm lost.
Okay, no worries. I can definitely do that. So is it just the class? Is it just the room that I messed you? I kind of got you on before that. Okay. Okay. So let me go back and make sure I can find the sign, what I was doing. Okay. So I had place. Is place good?
Start back,
Place.
if you don't mind, from from the first time you froze, because I got distracted. I couldn't follow.
Yeah. That's totally fine. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the internet to work right now. I don't know why it's cutting off on me. I've cut off my phone. Okay, so sorry. I was checking with my mom to see if she was still on work, because if she's still on work, she'll need the internet. But if not, she can skip off. Okay, so back on place. So, place, we got place. Now, what I moved on to was the sign for office, the sign for room. And so office is the O's, and you kind of start with kind of almost, it really is your decision. I do this. I mean, they're not going to say, oh, this is nothing. Like, they're going to know you mean office. So office. And then what I was saying is that in ASL, most of the time especially for those who are deaf and were born learning ASL, or very much in the deaf community, they will use just room. But I have seen a lot of others try to change internets real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay. I changed internets. I'm so sorry. Hopefully that it will stay working. If not, I'm going to have a fit. So, okay. So what I was saying, apparently my laptop does not want me to teach you about the office space and rooms. So what I was saying is that they will use just this to describe a place. So room. Some people will also use R's like room, just to describe, like if you're just talking about a room. And then for classroom, it's the sign for class and then room. So class is, you're going to make a C and it's going to be like this, class. So C, class, and then you'll go class, room. You can use classroom, but I use classroom. It's kind of easier. The R's get confusing. So classroom. And then so for doctor's office, you would do the sign for doctor, which is I got to lift up and be wonky again. Ooh. Is you're going to have your palm, your non-dominant hand palm face up, and your dominant hand's going to be in that weird bent shape. And you just tap on where your veins are. Doctor. Some people will do the D, doctor, or the N for nurse. Usually it's just doctor. So you'd say doctor's office. So doctor's office. Doctor's office. Yes. Okay. So I was going to ask if there's any other places that I didn't think of, because I know there's so many more and I usually will forget. Yes, Miss Katie. Oh, the library. I'm so sorry. How did I forget? So the library is super easy. It's an L and you move it in a circular motion. Library. I am so sorry, Miss Katie. I can't believe I forgot that. Library. All right. Is there any other places you guys can think of? I was writing them and I couldn't remember all.
Police, just for fun. I don't really call the police much or need to go there. But.
So police, you're going to make, it's almost like a simple little C and you're going to put it across onto your opposite shoulder. Police. This is also the sign for cop. If you're going to the police's office, just police office. So police's office. So that. Are there any other places I could be forgetting? I mean, I know I'm forgetting a few, but any that you guys want me to show you the signs for?
Could you do, what about park or playground, or are they the same?
So for park, I usually just do place. And the reason is just because it's still that location. For playground, it's kind of interesting. So you don't actually, there's not an actual sign. It's just you do play, and then you do the sign for area. So play area. And that's kind of how, because a lot of times when you're describing, especially something that's not such a big known, like I know playground's known, but it's not a set building. You just kind of go the area. Like for soccer fields, it's the same, the area. So this is area, and it's just describing obviously the space in front. So are there any more that you guys can think of? I'm trying to think of more myself. The sign for building. So building is you're going to have like your H's. I feel like I'm making some weird signs right now, but so you have your H's and you're going to have them brush up against each other. And it's like you're building, and you actually will want to try to go up a little, but building. So it's like you're stacking, almost like you're Lincoln logs, putting them on top of each other. So building. I think that's a fun sign. I don't get to use it often, but I think it's fun. Let's see. Any other places? I think that might be it. If there's any more, you guys can definitely email me and then I can try to add them later. So the next thing I thought we can move on to is actual like items, like things. So again, to help for saying, if you're trying to find something or if you need something, having that. So the first thing is pencil or pen. And that is, you have almost like you're, making a little dot, and you're going to pretend like you're writing on your palm. There you go. Yes. Writing on your palm. And that's the same for both pencil and pen. If you're specifically needing a pen, a lot of times people will sign it and then they'll go pen. They'll just finger spell it. But most of the time it's just this. And then that's also the sign for right. So what's nice about some of these signs is that they will be they're the same. It's not so complex where you have the word pencil and then you have the word right. Like they're just the same, this. And then I have, I've added so many and I didn't review those building places, but we'll go back to that. The next I have is book, which, hey, at least I remember this, Miss Katie. So book is your hands like this and you're opening it up like a book. Book. Then I have paper. Now, paper is an interesting one because what it is it's, so, you have school that's like this. Paper is going to be almost like, it's going to be this. And you almost want to be like aggressively pushing on your palms, like making that noise, like paper, needing some paper. So, have them going in the opposite direction and clapping against each other. Alrighty. Let's stop there and review because I have not reviewed with you guys. Okay, so we're going all the way back to our places. So the first place we learned was school. So school. Then church is the non-dominant fist with the C, church, and you tap it, church. We have home. Oh, I think I skipped this one. Work. So work is going to be that S over your thumb and your non-dominant hand back to that fist, and you're going to tap it. Work. Work. And again, this would be the lower. You don't have to have it so high up, the lower, but for now, just so you can see it. Store. And then I showed you guys the sign for teach, which is teach. Teacher, yes, teach. Then we have place. So place is that P, that sideways weird P, place. Office. Room or room. It's either way. Building. Cops or police. Then doctor's office. And again, this won't be so high up. It's the lower, but again, so doctor's office. The library. I forgot the library again. And then we moved on to items. So pen or pencil. Book. Then paper. It's very weird. I had a few friends in high school that would get school and paper mixed up, and they would say, "Do you have school?" And I'd be like, "No, I don't have school. I have paper," and they'd get really mad at me. So, okay, so how are we feeling on this? I know it's a lot. I have a few more if you guys want to kind of keep picking up, at least having the signs for the words, and then you guys can practice later. Would you guys prefer me to continue, or would you guys want to just review more? Which would y'all prefer? Okay, how about this? I'll give you a yes or no question so y'all can use your yes or no signs. Okay. If you want to learn some more signs, say yes. If you want, oh no. Well, okay, so we technically have the 3 and then 1. So we're gonna continue, but again, it's okay. I'm gonna sign them more so you have the signs again. So I will try to go slower with these. All right, the next one I had was backpack. So backpack's your thumbs, and you're gonna go backpack, like the backpack straps. Backpack. And then we have purse or bag, and again, this would be much lower, but it's like you're holding the handle of the bag and you're just kind of shaking it back. Some will do purse, but this also can be confusing because the sign for jacket is this. Jacket. The nice thing about that is that for taking off your jacket or putting it on, it's just the motion. So take off your jacket, put on your jacket. Okay. The next one is table. So table is you're going to have your whole arm, your non-dominant arm out, and your dominant arm. And you're going to be like table, table, table. That's day. So when you do the whole motion down, it's day. But when you just tap, it's table. And then we have chair. And so chair is going to be your H's again, your two fingers. You have one resting down, your non-dominant, and then your dominant is going to tap on it. Chair, chair, chair. Oh, excuse me. And the one nice thing with that is when you're saying the word sit, it's one tap. So sit. Then you have chair, sit. That is a sign I have to use quite often, unfortunately. I look at my kids, I'm like, sit. So, alrighty, let's see, what else do I have? Okay. I had them in a prep. Okay, so the words for like light, I thought that would be a good one. For lights, you would have, what you do is you kind of bend them like you're doing the 8, and you're gonna tap your chin. Don't be hard, but a little, and that's the sign for light. It's your middle finger pointing down, and you're flicking it, and you're going on your chin. Light, light. And for lights on, you would go light on, on. So it's like the light is just shining through, and then lights off. So lights on, lights off. So just think of it. That's the thing I like is you can very much visualize it. So just imagine you're seeing the lights actually what you want the lights to. You actually want them, you want to see them just kind of turn off, like they're going back in. So off. And then I had door. So door is going to be your B's. You're going to have your connecting B's. And what you'll do is you just open one, like you're opening a door. So door, door, door. So if you're trying to open both, you can be like door. This is a lot of people in stories will use this to very much dramatize entering a place. So door, door. And again, if you want to shut the door, you start with it open and you close it. Slam the door, close the door, open the door. Then I have window. And window is you're going to have your hands kind of like the B's again, but sideways, and go window, window, window. And again, this is very much lower. I'm just trying to really help you guys see where I am. But window. And so if you want to close it, window, close the window, open the window. So that's the kind of the motions for lights, door, and window. Let's see, what else do I have? Are there any particular signs that you guys can think of for items? I'm trying to remember some more, but just kind of going to the back of my mind and I cannot remember. So phone. Okay. Phone. I bet you guys could guess right exactly what the sign for phone is. Yes, phone, phone, phone. Yes. I was so happy when I knew that sign. When I saw it, I was like, at least I knew something. So phone, phone. And then I'm adding the ones that we have so I can make sure to know not to repeat them later. For water bottle. Okay, so the sign for water is the W, water, water, and then you do cup. So cup is a C. It's almost like you have a cup in your hand. Cup, cup. So water bottle. It's the same for water cup, water bottle. Either way, that's the sign for anything that's going to be holding a drink. So cup. And then I remember a sign I did not show you guys for, I showed you, I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. 1 second. Sorry, I have to yell at them to get them to be shh. Okay, so the sign for restaurant, I forgot that's a place. That's a very important place if you're me, is you're going to have your R's and you'll go restaurant, restaurant, restaurant. So because you're eating, so restaurant, restaurant. And then I'm pretty sure it shows y'all bathroom. I'm going to show you again. There's also another sign that's a more polite, more professional kind of sign. No one uses it. Anyone I've seen does not use it, but I'll show it to you. So bathroom is the T, and you'll shake it back and forth. Bathroom. So the T, and then shake a hand. Bathroom. And then the other sign that people will use is it's restroom, and it's the R's, and you go restroom, restroom, restroom. Yes.
Why wouldn't bathroom be B?
So I was going to actually say that it's because of, this is very blunt, and that is actually very much ASL, it's very blunt. It's for toilet, for the toilet. Yes. I thought the same thing. I was like, why isn't it this? And they're like, no, that's a color. And so toilet. And that's why I remember my ASL teacher taught us that this is more polite because it's restroom. You're not saying toilet, but no one uses toilet. No one uses restroom that I've seen. It's always toilet. It's the easiest. So, but there's that kind of interesting little blurb. I remember I haven't shown you. Have I shown you all the colors yet? I don't think I have. Okay. Do you guys want me to add those right now? Or do you guys want to take a break? I understand. Don't worry. Like, I could go on signing all day. I do sign all day. So what would y'all prefer? Would y'all want to stop now and just kind of practice what we have? Or do you want to just, I could even try to do a video where it's just myself signing the colors and then give that to you guys later. I could try to do that too. So that way you have them, but they're not all just right now where it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my mind. So, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, so let's review what we have, because I know it's a lot. All right. So, I'm not going to start at the full beginning just yet. I want to go back to the ones that we did before. So we started with backpack. So backpack, backpack. Then we had purse, bag. You know, that's just the very generic. And then we have table. Oh, jacket. Yes, jacket. I forgot I had jacket. Sorry, jacket. And then table, table. And then we had chair, chair. Good. And then there's the sit with the angry face to be like, you know, you get that mom face or that teacher face where you're like, sit down. So sit. And then I have door, or no, light. I'll go back to light. So light. So again, the middle finger, flicking your chin. And then you go for lights on, lights on, and then lights off. Lights off. Yes, good. And then we have door. So door's the B's. You're going to open one. You can open either way. There's no specifics. You know, it's just like your door's opening. So door. So closed door, open door. Then we have window, which is the sideways of it. And so window, window, close window, open window. So window. And then I think that's all I have. Miss Beth, do you have phone? Phone, thank you. I was like, I saw Miss Beth has been writing every time I see her. She goes right down and writes. So I'm like, maybe she's got the list now. So phone. And then water bottle. Water bottle. And then I added on restaurant. So our restaurant. 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 And then we have toilet or restroom, bathroom. Alrighty. So, oh, and one thing, I'm not adding a new sign. I'm just saying it, is for restaurant. If you're ever trying to get a specific place, most of the time you'll finger spell the place. There's a few that have actual signs, but they're regional. So they can change kind of wherever you are. So, because I'll have some people where they'll have the sign for Chick-fil-A that are in Talladega, they have a sign for Chick-fil-A. But then the people in Birmingham have a different sign for Chick-fil-A. It can be very different. So most of the time people will just kind of finger spell it. Or if it's, something like Taco Bell, you can use the actual signs for taco and the actual signs for bell. As silly as it would be because you're saying a taco and then it's ringing, but you can still use it. So just thought that'd be an interesting little thing you guys would like. Alrighty, so now we'll go all the way back to the beginning and go over our questions, okay? Okay, so the first one we had was who. And like you kind of, here, let me point it in the front. So you want it like your hand in front of you. Yes, like who. I'm just turned to the side so you can see it. So who. Right? And we have what. Then we have where. When. Why. I know my pinky's sticking up. It does it already. So why? And then how. I'll slow down a little more. So how. Okay, then yes. And then no. Is that no? And a lot of times people will, again, your facial expressions. So when you're saying yes, you're not going to be all yes. It's going to be yes. And then the no is not going to be no. It's going to be no. So, but again, that's just easy. That's what you guys kind of already do when you say no or yes. So then we have our places. So school. Church. The C, and then on top, church. Home. Work. And this can be any place that you work. If you say you're at work, you're working. And this is also the sign for you need to start working on your homework. That's the sign too. So work. And then store. Then do y'all remember the sign for teacher? Yes, teacher. Good. If you at least get the teach, I'm proud. Teacher, yes. Perfect. And then place. So the actual sign for place. Place. Good. Then office. Do y'all remember office? I want to see if y'all actually remember this one. Office. Good. So, okay, I get it. So, office. Then we have room. So, room. And I showed classroom. So, classroom. And I know they're all based off of schools and school stuff, and I apologize, but I am a teacher. It's the first things that come to my mind. So then we have building. And then library. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Miss Winnie. If I forget library one more time, this Katie's going to be done with me. Like every time. Library. And then we have the police. And then we're on to, doctor's office. So doctors. And this is also the sign for doctors. Doctor, person, or doctor. So most of the time, if you do this, the kids know that you're saying, or the kids or the adults know that you're saying the doctor. So doctor's office. All right. Are we ready to move back to the items, the things I've said, the objects? Okay. So we have pencil / pen, which is this, pencil, pen. Book. We have paper. paper, then backpack, and then jacket. That's putting it on, that's putting it off, jacket. Then we have purse, purse, purse. So, I mean, you can also kind of, it's also the motion of if you put your purse like this, purse, or it's really however you hold your purse. It's not tied to this is the only sign for person. You can't use anything else. So then we have table, table, table. Then we have chair, chair, and then sit. So chair, sit. Good. Then we have light. And then you'll have lights on. Then lights off. Perfect. Then we have door, door. And then close door. And then open door. So close, open. Then we have window. So window, close window, open window, window. We have phone, phone. And then water bottle, water bottle. And then the other place I'd forgotten, restaurant, restaurant, restaurant. No. And some people do restaurant with the one finger. I do the R's just because that's how I was taught and that's how I learned it. But either way will work, the pointer finger or the R. And then there's the bathroom. Now I'm going to call it toilet every time because that's all I think about is how it's actually the word meaning for toilet, or restroom, restroom. And I believe that's it. Is that it, Miss Beth? Okay. Okay, so here's what I was thinking for the last few minutes. What we can do is I'm going to pick a few signs and I'm going to sign them. Or no, I'm actually going to say the words and I'm going to see if you guys can try to remember, okay? Okay, and if you don't know, it's totally fine. Don't stress. Don't stress. I promise. I promise it'll all be fine. I tell this to my kids all the time when we have new words. They hate when I give them vocabulary words because I make them practice it all the time. So you guys are getting off easy. All right. Okay, ready? So first sign, home, home. Yes, good. Home, yes, good, 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 good. Home. Okay. This one's hopefully an easy one. Pencil or pen? Good, good, good. All right. Chair. 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 Good, good, good. I'm impressed. Y'all have been over here going, oh my goodness, so many signs. But when I say them, y'all are knowing them. So, all right. Who? All right, now that I said that, who? So thumb on your chin, who? And don't forget those eyebrows down. Who? And then church. Good. Church. School. Good. School. You were almost there. You got one that starts with S. You had store, so I gave you a lot. I understand. So school. Window. Good. All right. Yes. So the S and then you're nodding it. Yes. Just imagine you're nodding your head, but with your nodding yes, but with your hand. And then work. Okay, work. So it's that thumb over your hand, work, work, work. And make sure you have it where your non-dominant sideways and your dominant's like going forward. So work. Because if you have it any other direction, it makes the sign different. And some of them, I wasn't always taught the bad words, but I know there was a bad word around here that made me nervous whenever I used the word work. So work. Good. Book. Good, good. All right. Backpack. Good. Yes. Light. Light. Good, Miss Katie. Light. Light. All right. Let's see. Where? Where? Close. Where? 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 Yes, there you go, Miss Katie. I saw you mouth it. What? What? All right. When? 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 Yes. When? 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 And then let's see. Office. 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 Good. So you're going to start with them kind of cross and then turn them sideways. That. Yes. Good. Table. Good. Table. Table. I'm real proud of you guys. You guys always, you look so unsure of yourselves, but then you answer most of them. So you're learning. You're learning. It's just a lot. I know. I try to give you guys as much as possible. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do something that I'm going to show you how you use questions. Yes. Yes, everybody does get a gold star because I'm very, very proud right now. It's the teacher in me coming out going, yes, they've learned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can ask questions, because you want to ask them, like, when you're saying, where's the library? You're not going to ask it, where's library? That's not how you ask it. So, and this is it. And after that, I promise I'm not adding signs. I'm not going to stress you out with any more. I promise you can breathe. So when you're using a question word, you're going to use it actually at the end of your sentence. So if I'm asking where the library is, I'm going to go library, where? Library, where? Where? So you'll start with what you're trying. That's your main focus. And the reason is because you get what your main focus is first, and then you ask the question at the end. So if I wanted to say going to school, when? Or yes, bathroom, where? Bathroom, where? Or go to school, when? When? And it also helps because once you have an ending with the eyebrow sound, it looks like your sentence is not finished. And it's because they need to give you the answer to finish it. I'm trying to think. Oh, sorry. I thought of something, but I'm not adding it right now. I'll wait till next week to give you this sign. I do not want to add another one onto you guys. Okay. It hit me and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot one. It's like, I'm not doing it to y'all. So, and again, that kind of goes for like yes or no questions. You don't always have to go yes or no. Sometimes if you're trying, at least when I'm teaching with my kids, if they are not understanding that it's a yes or no question, I'll say to them, you finished? Yes or no? Yes or no? But I kind of have my eyebrows down because that's kind of showing which one are you. So, but a lot of times you don't have to use yes or no. It's just for responding. So you go to school today? Yes? No. Okay. So I think that's just about it. I know it was a lot. I'm going to definitely try to get a video of me signing some of the colors. I'm not going to put all the colors because it gets a little confusing, a few of them. So, but I'm going to do the basics. So your basic 7 colors are there. And then I'm going to add like the white, the blacks, the browns. I'm going to add those, but I'm not going to give you a full color range. Like, no, because some of them you just finger spell. And those are some long names for colors. So I think that's all for us. I mean, if there's any questions or anything you guys want to ask, like, yes.
Where is your school? In Talladega or in Tuscumbia?
So my school is in Talladega, and that's where the school for the deaf is located. It's the only Alabama school for the deaf, which each state has its own school for the deaf, and that's where Alabama's was. That's where it was set up. A long time ago. I'm not good with dates. I've never been good with dates, but that's where it's been set. Sometimes I'm like, why isn't it in Birmingham? I mean, Birmingham's such a perfect spot, but I think, as they say, Talladega is kind of closest to the middle, so it's good fair distance, because my students are all over the state. So I have some from Huntsville. I have some there's a few students who are from Mobile.
1858 is when your school was founded.
Thank you. I knew it was.
That's
Do they sleep there?
Yes. So
Okay.
some of our students do sleep. We have dorms. It's like a college campus, but what's interesting is we have dorms for kindergartners, pre-K, preschool, all the way up to high school. We don't have many who are in the preschool through 4th or 5th grade. Those are usually the ones where they are very far away from their families and they cannot move to Talladega. Because I know a lot of families will move to Talladega for their children, which I think is such a great thing, but I also understand not being able to. And then one cool thing I always think is so interesting and so great that my school does is we still have buses. So we have half of our kids who will stay in the dorms, and then another half will come on the bus. But when you're in a school system, you're only can ride the bus if you're in this many miles from the school. Well, for ours, we don't have that. We just have it where you have to have, like, I guess, the certain limit of how many hours it would take, because one of my students is from Birmingham and he still rides the bus. So he still gets to stay home. And so I think that's just kind of a nice thing that we provide for them, is you can still, if you're within that hour range, we still provide buses for you. And we're very flexible on how our dorms set up too, as in you don't have to stay in the dorm the entire week. I had one student who on Wednesdays would go home, and they have buses that will run on, I guess, Wednesdays and Fridays where you can go home on those days. And he would go home on Wednesdays, and then he'd come back Thursday morning, stay in the dorm Thursday night, and then Friday afternoon he'd go home. And it's a very cool system. It's so different from, a public school. And it's so crazy because we have this one thing too that's kind of nice for me, and I love it for the kids mostly, is we have what's called a closed weekend. And so each month we have one weekend where we do not have school on Monday. And what it is for all those students who have to come, who stay in the dorm all throughout the week, because they go home Friday afternoon and then they have to get on a bus Sunday afternoon to come back to school, is we will extend that and they don't have to come back to school until Monday. So they get that extra day with their family. And I think that's such a great thing they do. They really are trying to provide as much for these kids with seeing their families, because there are kids who go very far away, and
those kids are going to be more prepared for college than my kid was. I mean, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. Like they're so used to the dorms, they're going to know. Like, I think it's funny when they go off to college, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I already know. There's the rules. Here's how to handle it.
Here's how to break them.
Right. And we also have for our high school students, you have to have, it's called independent living. And so what it is it's not like where it kind of sounds like it's more kind of, for having more
wash your clothes and how to live alone.
But actually what it is you get to almost be on a separate, we have these houses that are right across the street from the campus. And they are high school houses that are used there's a girls' house. So you can live there, and it's almost that more college life feel.
Wow.
Yes. Amazing. But you have to have a certain GPA, and you have to have your parents.
You have to earn it. You have to earn it. Yeah.
And you have to get a signature from the principal. But I think that's such a cool thing, because that really helps them get that feeling of living independently.
That's amazing.
And that's kind of such a big deal for them. And so I love seeing kids when they're able to do that, and telling students now, I'm always like, look, if you do this now and you work hard, and please don't give me any more trouble, just doing your work, you might
Dangle
get
that little carrot right in front of their face.
It's like, come on.
Hey, Gillian,
Yes,
where does funding come from?
the government.
Is it state aid or federal or both or
I think it could be a mixture of both. I won't deny, I'm not the best when it comes to anything like that. I remember when they talk about it in school, it just goes over my brain. I'm like, I'm trying, but I know that.
I mean, that's a well-established school. I didn't realize it was that old, so
Yes.
it's pretty impressive.
I'm
Well,
impressed.
Oh yeah, it's so awesome for what they provide.
So since Helen Keller was from Alabama, her parents didn't want her to go there?
So a lot of times, well, and this does happen a lot in history, is a lot of times when family members find out their child is deaf, parents go through these different stages of grief, and
I know. Yeah.
And especially for a family when they have something like that where Helen Keller was sick and then later developed her hearing loss and blindness.
That's true. Yeah.
That it's almost kind of it's a shame.
Shame.
Yeah.
It was. I get the psychology behind that. Then I'm so glad the world is different now. But
yes,
I get
and
that. It just surprises me that she was from Tuscumbia and that one that far away, even during the days of just train travel.
I know. Oh, I know, and it really does show just how much it does come down. How a lot of times deaf people were looked at negatively. Of you can't. Do much. And
did you watch one of the videos Katie put up? They said to this day, those are young people just saying to this day, people ask the dumbest questions about, can you think, or what? I can't remember the dumbest question. It's like,
yes,
what? The only thing we can't do is hear. That's the only thing we can't.
I get so mad whenever, because I'll have people ask me that about my students, and I'll sit there and I'm like, I'm having to rationalize and be calm and not be angry, but showing they're still there. Like they still have sense. Like, and
this is true of any disability, even though nobody wants to use the word disability, but it's true. I mean, I have a sister who's been in a wheelchair for 55 years, and the things people ask, can she do? And I'm like, the only thing she can't do is walk. It's the only thing she can't. I mean, she had kids, she went to law school, she drives, like, only thing she can't do.
Well, and that's always what gets me when people ask deaf people is, and I understand, and it really does come down to, I try not to think about it of, I can't believe people cannot think these ways.
It's narrow-mindedness, but it's really ignorance. More, not ignorant, but ignorance of an issue.
And I try to think of it more as I think of it as the whole state, the whole United States has just not brought enough exposure to that. That was my biggest thing. I mean, when I worked at my summer camp, we've had kids with special needs. We had one who had Down syndrome, one who had autism. And my biggest thing that I always felt was I wanted, especially even the kindergartners, to have that exposure with those other kids, because our biggest fault is that we fear the unknown. We fear what we don't know. And so we assume there's something wrong there. I'm scared. And so I try to, especially with my younger kids, show them that it's okay. There's just differences. And that's one of my favorite things about teaching my kids at the summer camp, my ASLs. I would teach them that, to be like, look, you can communicate with these other kids. You still can. Like, it's not, I've given you some tools to have some conversations. And there was one kid who went to, like, 3 of my campers went to a school who had a student who was deaf. And they, like, once they realized that, they came up to me and they're like, Gillian, oh my gosh, there's someone at our school who's deaf who uses sign language. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Can you talk to him? And they were like, no. And I was like,
that's like if I'm in Europe and I meet someone from Alabama, I'm like, yay, someone like me. You want someone who's like you. You always do. Yeah.
And I love having my kids who ever say, I saw someone who was deaf, and I say hi to them, and I'm like, thank you. Don't be like, oh my gosh, it's scary. And
that's great.
It's the craziest to me when people ask me questions about if they actually have any smarts. I've had to talk to people about, especially like Helen Keller, because people get so where they limit. You can't know anymore. You can't do anymore. And I've had people ask me, how could Helen Keller write a book? How could she actually do that? Are you like, they kind of question, and I kind of am like, okay, first off, don't come after me like that, because if you come after me with that tone, I'm gonna come back to you with that tone, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Well, as long as they don't question where she was born. I'm just kidding. I'm going back to politics from last year. Just kidding. We're not going to go down that road. Anyway,
But
that's fantastic. Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's just crazy. I couldn't believe though, those #1 Google searches, the things, the way people think. It just blows my mind, but I gotta go. Thank you. This has been fun and educational, but fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a teacher, that's what I want. I want to educate you. And like, this is a safe place where you can ask questions. So even if you think it's a stupid question, ask me. I'm not going to get mad because I know you're coming from not like a curious place, not I want to insult. I think it's weird. I think it's strange. No, you're just, I want to know. And so I'm always happy to answer questions. But
thank you,
Gillian.
Thanks, Katie.
all right, thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
y'all.
See you next week. Thanks.
All right,
I'll
see
send
y'all
out an
next
email
week.
tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.